Hello, welcome back to the UNICAT channel. Today I have the real pleasure to show you this beautiful MD71H based on a ZETROS 6x6 truck chassis. The Zetros is actually a quite rare chassis because it's only available in Euro 5. So Mercedes does not sell it in Europe anymore. It's only available for export now because now we have Euro 6 and this is only Euro 5. Of course, it has all-wheel drive, it has differential locks, and the Zetros also has an Allison 6-speed automatic transmission. We have built this truck in 2013 and we have equipped it with a lot of extras and features which I would like to show you now in detail. As the Zetros is one of the few vehicles which has a long engine hood, which many people like because it looks good and it protects you very well. The visibility to the front is actually not so good. That's why we have put cameras on both sides at the front. We also have cameras on the sides, on the mirror bracket here, also on both sides. So in total there are 5 cameras, so you from inside the driver's cab and also inside the body you can see all the area around the vehicle. We do have a roof rack on the driver's cab and there are 4 additional lights shining to the front, and there are also LED lights on the sides shining to the front side and shining to the back. There's also some space for storage boxes on the driver's cab, and actually you can put a lot of load and weight on the driver's cab because it's not a suspended and it's not a tiltable driver's cab, which is not necessary because the engine sits in front, and if you have to access the engine you just open the engine hood. The vehicle also comes from the factory with a central tire inflation system. And what's a little bit unique on this truck is the tire size and the tire pattern. So this is a 455/65 R22.5. So it's a low profile tire, and this tire comes with a kind of a street profile. So it runs very silent, the tires last very long, and driving is very stable. Of course, these tires are not built to lower the pressure extremely, and therefore if you would go to a desert you would probably install other tires like 14.0 R20 or 16.0 R20, which also fit on these axles. On this truck we have really used every available space for something useful. For example, there was some space behind the entrance steps, and so we used it to install 2 jerry cans of each 20 liters. Then you have the exhaust system, the AdBlue tank, and then you have a fuel transfer pump and also pumps for the several heating systems. All UNICAT vehicles are really usable in winter times, but for extreme cold conditions we sometimes add some equipment, and this vehicle has all this additional equipment. For example, we have a fuel capacity of 850 liters in 2 tanks, one on this side and one on the other side. But we have a warm water heating inside the fuel tanks to always keep the fuel liquid and available for generator, heaters and for the engine. To maximize the fuel capacity, we have in this case installed the specially made fuel tanks directly at the body. That has the advantage that when the chassis is twisting and you would normally need a lot of clearance between the tank and the body so they don't collide while the twist happens, we have mounted the tanks directly on the body so they always move together and there simply is no collision. And that's why we get on this length with that ground clearance way more fuel capacity than with a normal tank setup. Maximizing space also requires sometimes special solutions. And here you can see that we have the entrance door with the steps very close to the rear axle. And well, to make it all fit, we have made the door in a special shape. So it's a little less wide at the bottom, but still wide enough to comfortably go in and out. In the wheel arches, which are prepared to take tires with a larger diameter, we have another outside storage box. And then here, even the triangles in this area are accessible and usable as a storage area. Here in the back of the body, we have a very high and very wide storage area, which is actually coming further down. And this storage area is made to carry a quad inside the vehicle. And there are ramps which are attached here, and then you can move in your vehicle. The storage area here in the back is accessible from the rear. And there is a winch that helps you bringing down the flap. And underneath this slope, we have a rear underride guard, which is required by law. But this folds in pneumatically and then it even folds up. We will show you that later. There's also quite some stuff here at the back to show you and to explain a little bit. Let's start at the bottom. So we have a rear underride guard, which is necessary in Europe, but it's not good for off-road driving. So it's pneumatically actuated. So the rear underride guard goes in and it can also go up. But you also have a trailer hitch. So if you want to tow a trailer, you push the rear underride guard in, but leave it horizontal, and then you can attach the trailer. But if you don't have a trailer and you want to go off-road, you push it in and then you push it up. And then it gives you the best possible angle of departure. Further up, we have another outside storage area, which is behind the quad garage. And there are also sand ladders on this opening here. And that makes sometimes the opening, the door, very heavy. And if you are alone and if you are not very strong, you need some help to bring that hatch down. And therefore, we have a device here that can help you. Here, further up, we have a complete spare tire. And that comes down with a manual winch. And it first goes horizontal. And when it's horizontal, it comes down to the floor. The manual winch that brings down the spare tire is also used to bring down that hatch. And therefore, we have installed a device here. So you can click in this wheel into this cable, and then the cable makes a detour and brings down the flap very easily. Then next to the spare tire we have the satellite dish. And the satellite dish is here at the back because all the roof is occupied by solar panels and the roof hatches. So we installed it here, and to use it, it will lift up automatically and will have very free and undisturbed view to the sky. And when that satellite dish is up, you also have access to that additional storage area behind it. Now the garage for the quad is of course accessible from both sides, because you never know what is easier to load it in and out to the right side or to the left side. Further in front here we have a large door, and there is a storage area behind where you can store very long stuff. For example, fishing gear, hunting gear, or other sports equipment, which is just so long that you can't put it anywhere else. On this side we have that second fuel tank, which transfer fuel to the other side, and also this fuel tank has a water heating system in it. Here behind the fuel tank we have a Fisher Panda water-cooled diesel generator. It's a Panda 8000. It delivers about 5 kilowatts, and that's absolutely sufficient for the size of this vehicle. Also on this side we have maximized the use of space under the driver's cab. For example, normally the ZETROS has a large battery box, but that's a waste of space. So we built a special battery box. It's insulated, it's heated and connected to the central water heating system to keep the batteries, the chassis batteries, warm and powerful. In this area behind the entrance step, where you typically only have the reservoir for the windshield washing fluid, we have installed a small water tank so that you can wash your hands outside here without going inside. In the driver's cab doors we have additional safety locks, just for additional safety. And you also see these attachment points, which we have here everywhere at the driver's cab, and we even have it on the body. And that's there to attach a cover which goes all the way down to the floor and prevents wind and sand blowing through under the vehicle. The ZETROS was designed as a military vehicle by Mercedes, and therefore the interior was, I would say, pretty rough and loud and not really comfortable. But that can be changed, and we actually changed this one here in quite a nice way, I think. This is a standard ZETROS driver's cap, and we ordered it with a round big roof hatch, which you only get with the military vehicle. There is quite some space behind the seats, and we got bags made specifically for here, and they are used for camera equipment, lenses, or whatever else you want to put in. The whole cab got additional sound insulation, and then we covered all these panels with Alcantara, and the dashboard was covered with leather, and the seats are made of leather. Everything was just nicely covered to make it comfortable and looking very nice. So this is a 7.1 meter body. It's very comfortably set up for 2 people, maximum 3 people. Let me talk a little bit about the technical features first before I show you around. The electrical system consists of a 24 volt DC system with a battery capacity of 630 amp hours, 2 inverter chargers to supply power to the air conditioners, to the oven, to the cooktop. The battery power goes directly to the water pumps, to the fridge, to the freezer, and so on. And everything is built up quite redundant for safety reasons on long trips. So here in this area we have 2 water tanks with 2 water pumps. The capacity is 600 liters of fresh water, and it's distributed to the kitchen, to the bathroom, and each tap, everything has its own line going from the central distribution to the final destination. Of course, there is a hot water heat exchanger to provide hot water for the shower, for the bathroom, and for the kitchen, and this is located here in the center under the table. The hot water is made either electrically or through the central water heating system. Is actually a diesel water heater which gets its diesel from the tanks, which are also heated, but it can also get heat from the cooling system of the engine. To keep the body warm and to control and adjust the temperature differently in each area, the central water heating system actually is ideal because we have radiators in all the sections. The electric control panel is located close to the entrance area, so you can easily check it when you go in and out, but it's not really disturbing when you're living in the vehicle. You can check the batteries here, you can check the water levels here, you can turn on the heater and the water pumps, but you don't really have to do a lot on this panel. When you start your trip, you have to switch on some stuff, but that's pretty much it. For security reasons, we have a lot of circuit breakers. So actually the light circuits, there are 2 light circuits, some lights in the front, some lights in the back, which are on different fuses. Each water pump has its own fuse, and so on and so forth. That's all for security and redundancy reasons. Well, as in most UNICAT vehicles, you will find the seating area in the front part of the body, because that's the area which we can install a little bit higher to gain a lot of extra space in the floor area where we put the batteries, heating system, fresh water tanks, all the heavy stuff, all the sensitive stuff which you don't want to have at the rear end of the vehicle, but better in the center. Having the seating area a little bit higher allows to have windows on both sides and at the front. So you have very much light, you have very good visibility, and you also look down while nobody from outside can really look inside of your vehicle. They will only see the roof. Talking about the roof, there is a huge roof hatch here in the seating area. So if you want, you can actually sit here and enjoy the night sky or the day sky. All the windows you see here are made by UNICAT, and they have double insulated safety glass. So they are super safe, they are strong, and they have clear glass which doesn't scratch, and also they have a blind and a mosquito net. Even on the fixed front windows where we would not need a mosquito net, we have a blind but still a screen, so you can darken it a little bit to keep some sunlight out. So this seating area here is good easily for 4 people, also okay for 6 people, and it can be converted and used as a lounge or as a sofa area. To do so, we have an extension here. So this is almost 2 meters, and you can lay down, you can even sleep here on this side without converting the whole seating area. For your entertainment, we have installed here in the corner iMac 27, which serves as a TV, as a computer, and also as a monitor for all the cameras around the vehicle. To make it more cozy and also to reduce the noise level a little bit, we have covered the walls here with Alcantara, which actually looks very nice and luxurious. Next to the seating area, we have the entrance door with a step box, which makes it very comfortable to get in and out. And following the entrance area, we have the kitchen. There is a 2-flame induction cooker and a cooktop made of Varicore, which is made of one piece, everything with rounded edges, very easy to clean, and very comfortable to use actually. Everything you need for the kitchen has its place in the kitchen area. For example, here the glasses, the cups, plates, wine glasses, and pots and pans and large plates. There's also extra space for provisions, 1-2 drawers, and even above the kitchen there are hanger cupboards for your equipment. Here right next to the kitchen there's more storage for food and provisions. Here with plastic boxes, so if something drips, no problem with these. And then there is another one down below here with shelves. Right opposite the kitchen we have the convection oven and microwave oven. We have a 160-liter fridge freezer. We have large storages for food and water bottles. We have pharmacy type drawer here on this side, and one more cupboard here. And then we also have a deep freezer in an extra drawer next to the seating area. In the rear part we have the bedroom and the bathroom and storages, and that private area can be separated by a sliding door here. So here in the back we have the master bed. It's a king size bed, 1.8 by 2 meters. There are storages above the bed and on the side, and the bed is relatively high because we have that garage for the quad underneath, so that you can access the bed easily. We have a step here, but of course that step is also a storage area. So next to the king size bed we have another wardrobe, and then in the rear we have the air outlets for the air conditioner, which is just only for the bed area. And in the roof of the master bedroom, we have the same type of roof hatch, very big, so you can sleep under the stars. And you can even do it if there are mosquitoes outside, because there is a large mosquito net that you can shut. Here on the left side, we have the bathroom. It's a very big bathroom. It's a wet bathroom, but it's super spacious. And you can take a shower here in the center. You have a Varicore sink on this side, and you have the toilet on the opposite side. You also have a towel dryer radiator here, which is part of the central heating system. And this is not the only heater in the vehicle. There are also heaters in the seating area. There is a radiator under the cupboards, and there is also a warm water heating under the mattress.